Boom.
All right, now start it again.
Welcome to the 2021 CRUDcast with your host, Flanaguy. Brought to you by CCC. That was too many C's. CCC Sports. Special guest, Downtown Guy, a.k.a. Matt Brown. Yeah.
What an opener.
Welcome to your recap, ladies and gents. We're talking fantasy football. And hope you had a good week. Even if you lost your fantasy game, there's always next week.
There is always next week.
So let's jump into what we know as fake football.
Fake football, where everyone decides they want to send death threats to their fantasy football players. Let's go.
I can't believe you got hurt. I'm coming after your family.
Would you do such a thing? Unbelievable, guys.
Yeah, I am really glad I don't put money down on sports a lot of the time. It gets emotional. All right, so let's start this baby off with your biggest disappointments and your biggest surprises, Sir Downtown Guy Brown.
Oh boy, where do we start? There's a lot of disappointments throughout the week, man.
Yes.
I mean, even just on my team alone, I had a lot of disappointments. Let's look at the scores here on our league before I do this, because I bet you this
scores.
This will
look at some scores.
We got a low score. I know that. Who's our low scorer? It's Schtiek.
Scores.
Dak looks like my
Dak
choice.
looks like crap. Prescott.
Yeah. After having a really great game last week.
The most overpaid player in the NFL.
No touchdowns, pick, but good completion percentage, but still no points.
Yeah.
Not very helpful.
Yeah, the Cowboys struggled. They really did this week. I mean,
they barely snuck out the win.
I think everybody's looking at the backup running back though at this point after he went over like 100 yards. I saw some crazy
140 yards or something.
I saw some crazy stat like Zeke hasn't done that in like 600 days and scored a touchdown with 100 yards.
Yeah, it's
and then
been
like
a very long time.
I got Sean Guy trying to call me. He's gonna have to deal with the text message at this point. We are rolling. I can't afford my live radio show for these shenanigans.
Yeah, you can't.
For these Kyle shenanigans.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dak because Dak should be a 30-point getter every freaking week.
Yeah, you would think that. I was skeptical this year on how good he was going to be. I really liked the way he looked week one, and I kind of took my ideas back a little bit, but saw a little bit of what I was worried about this week. Just Cowboys not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some disappointment there for sure. Amari Cooper, I think what he scored like 10 points or something like that.
Yeah.
What was his?
Not a lot of points for them.
What was his line on the week?
Kamara guy might be a good second there. He only got 5 points this week.
Okay, I was way over on Cooper's 10-point game. He scored 3 points. He had 3 for 5 receptions, 24 yards. So yeah, Cooper a little, as a result of the way things went.
Yeah, basically everybody in Dallas underperformed. And everyone on the Saints underperformed. It's just like,
yeah, Cooper got hurt though. To his defense, got bruised ribs. Yeah. So, but yeah, there was a big underperformance there, and I think a lot of Zeke holders Over to Team Auto Pick Stiek. I know you don't tune in, but just to talk on your behalf, I think Zeke holders are getting a little bit worried at this point. I mean, he still got a good amount of carries, scored a touchdown. I don't think there's anything that looks that bad when he plays. It's not. I don't know. The tides are just not turning his way, is what I'm thinking.
He only got 16 touches. Wow.
Did you see that meme? Why is Ezekiel Elliott carrying a full-size Hilton hotel towel in his pants?
Yeah, I did.
That towel was so big. I was like, what? Oh, that was good stuff. The memes are
the stupidest things you find on the internet.
The memes are just getting better and better now that they've made their way over to football. It's almost like goofy things happen just because there's going to be memes. But yeah, I didn't get to watch that game too closely. So by just looking at the numbers, I don't really know how much cause there is for concern with Dallas, but
Dallas looks like the team to beat in the NFC East right now.
Yeah, it's something
they had a bad week.
Something to pay attention to. They lost, a close one, week 1. So there's a little bit of that going around as well, even if, so what if it's a close game, if you lose, you lose. So I'm trying to just see if I can grab some highlights here just to see if there's anything to write home about, but it's probably too little too late. So let me just get into my disappointments. Okay. My disappointments for the week, I'm going to do plural. And it's going to be Laviska Shenault, and almost really the Jags in general.
Well, Jags. Yeah, there's nothing going well with the Jags.
And also the very cliche pick, Zach Wilson.
He's a
rookie, but I mean, to say it wasn't disappointing, I had New England's defense, and I was like, another interception? Okay. I was like, I'm all for it. So I just, he was just throwing up easy picks, and I really, if I own anybody on the Jets like yourself, like Corey Davis, I'm just kind of concerned for the Jets. I mean, I was initially, but if he's playing that way right now and having a 4-pick game, I don't know. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better for old Zachy Wilson.
Yeah.
So, those are my obvious picks. Shenault, I don't know. I just feel like he's got a lot of potential in another offense. The way he plays, he can catch the ball like in the slot, and he's almost like a decent running back as well. I just feel like if he was mixed into a different offense, like the Patriots or, like I said, the Chiefs, or just somewhere else where he could kind of fit in and have a better quarterback and a better offensive scheme in general, I think he would do a lot better. I mean, he's not the fastest, but he has a high football IQ, and he just hasn't looked like himself. Like, he dropped a pass this week, and things aren't going well with Trevor Lawrence as well, speaking of rookie QBs, but we'll get to that rookie QB in a second. So those are my biggest disappointments. And my biggest surprises this week are my best performances. And I'll get yours here in a second, but I just wanted to give out Rondell Moore, and then I like Patterson over in Atlanta. I liked both of those guys before this week, especially Patterson. I was hyping up in our league chat, but I was able to catch those highlights. Looking good going forward, especially in this half PPR we have.
Oh yeah.
And then Rondell Moore, I mean, the guy is, like I said, I knew he was talented, but what a game he had. So those are my big performances this week.
Coming out of nowhere there. Yeah. Good choices, because honestly, if Kyler Murray was not the QB, I don't know how well he plays either. But the guy escapes a freaking 6-man rush and decides to just say fuck it, he's up there somewhere.
Speaking of good performances, hell yeah. I mean, if you listen to last week's podcast, I end it with a clip of me talking by myself, talking about a guy I didn't even name Kyler Murray's name. And I was like, you got to watch this guy's highlight. He scrambles and like readjusts himself. And I was talking about a Kyler Murray play. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
fuck it. I'm going to throw it in the edit. And
Hold on. This guy, before I give you mine, because I just got to point this out. Kyler Murray is averaging 40 points a game in our league right now in the first 2 weeks. 41 and a half last week, 39.1 this week. Insane. 7 touchdowns.
Yep, my mom's guy. She's rolling right through everybody this year.
Apparently.
I
was liking the there's two wideouts I was impressed with this week. Cortland Sutton, who I was about to draft myself, and I got beat two picks before me. Thanks to your mom. And
yeah,
I mean, he got 20 points, 9 of 12 receptions. He's doing a hell of a job. Looks like him and Teddy are starting to look good. Same with him and Noah Fart. Man, that's turned into a weird situation.
Noah Fart, formerly now Noah Fantasy Football guy somehow.
Yep. Yeah, apparently. And then
it's
Ruggs, dude.
It's the Bridgewater effect.
Yeah. Ruggs finally got his deep threat working for him. Took 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting play for fantasy owners on Ruggs. When's he gonna hit that, that money ball, and when is he not? Could be a big game, could be not with the way he's playing.
And you got some of the highest scorers this week. I think you are the highest scorer this week.
I was the top scorer in our league this week.
That doesn't bode well because I was last week and I lost.
courtesy of Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, I really was on the fence if I was gonna win, and not only that, but I mean, I put in the chat like Derrick Henry was the biggest the worst pick I could have picked. And then he just goes off. But that's what I do. I heard once, like on a fishing show, that weird guy with the white hair that has that fishing show. That it's not Deadliest Catch, but he's like, you know what I mean? The weird guy who fishes everywhere. He's fishing in Africa, and there's these guys like fishing there, and they like insult the fish while they're trying to fish, and then like they say that they catch more if they do that.
What?
Yeah, no, it's seriously a superstitious thing, and it's like, you ever insult somebody in your life, and then all of a sudden they like just are awesome, and you're like, you know what, I shouldn't have said that. No, but I digress. Back to football. Derrick Henry. Watch those highlights. Dude is a beast. He's a man amongst boys, and I'm lucky to have him when he plays like that, and as long as he's healthy, I like it. Fantasy is just such a crapshoot, and that's why I put out there for those listening to the chat, for everybody to stock up their bench this week on waivers, because I think a lot's going to change between now and the playoffs, for everyone. I mean, that's pretty much an obvious statement, but I think it's time to stock up right now. Certain teams are starting to show how they're going to be.
Yeah.
Try to make some moves while you can. Anyways, we've covered. So to summarize, who were your biggest surprises again? The players of the week.
I had Ruggs, and I guess I had 3. Ruggs, I had Fant, even though Fant had a good game last week, but he's consistent. That's why it's a consistency thing for me right now. That's why I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then another Bronco, Cortland Sutton, because that actually probably not as much a surprise as it could have been. They have some injuries on the wideout position, so he just went up a lot in the target category this week. So maybe next week, if he gets the same ones and everybody comes back healthy, it's a whole different story.
Speaking of next week, we could probably just clarify next week when I get more time to study a surprise versus a best performance, because I'm almost on more of the best performance thing right now, especially with Rondell Moore and Patterson. I necessarily wasn't surprised, but I would have not been able to predict before the week that Patterson was going to do it that well. And same with Rondell Moore. But
what did Patterson get? Who's got Patterson on their team?
Ben was able to scoop him up. But I'm telling you, I watched the entire game, week 1. I think it was versus Philly, and I just saw some sparks, man. Like I was like, this guy, he can really go. And
he left him on the bench.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, I think Ben's thinking was the same thing. Nobody was really sure what he was going to do versus Mike Davis, and then he was playing against Tampa. That was the other thing. So that's why another reason why.
I'm looking at his stat line. He had 7 carries, 5 receptions, but he made the most of his workload. So it's gonna be a boom or bust, it looks like, with him. Oh, and then Tony Pollard, 109, 1 touchdown, 31 yards receiving.
Yeah, I think Pollard is gonna be. Here comes Flanaguy. Hope you are enjoying our show so far. We are now joined by another guest in New York City. His name is Johnny Flanagan. They pay this man to analyze football.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
Not much. How's it going?
How are you? Doing good.
Yeah, a little sleepy, but I'm good.
Talking football.
Dude, do you guys realize, like, it feels so good on Monday or Tuesday waking up to a W?
Oh, hell yeah. Especially versus the L.
Great.
Yeah,
oh my God.
You've had some tight ones, man, but you're squeaking out that win much like
yeah.
Like just much like the NFL. As long as you get the W like the Cardinals this week, it's like doesn't matter. It's all over.
That's fantasy football. It's like kickers, defenses, it's all luck, but so is just surviving the close.
I don't think kickers and defense are luck at all. Honestly, I'm viewing that differently than you.
That's not really. My point is just like, yeah, it's
like look at the Cardinals kicker with that 62-yarder. Like if you know a guy can bang home a 62-yarder, that's a good reason to have him on your squad. So
for sure. It's just like Luke's 0-2 with close games, and I'm close. I'm just saying, like, win losses. Like I could be 0-2 right now, but I'm 2-0.
I lost by 4 points to Justin Tucker on Monday night, man. So,
are you serious? I didn't realize that.
At the last second. I mean, pretty much the last second, because the way the game was going, there was no telling if the Ravens were going to drive down the field and score a touchdown or if they were going to have to kick a field goal. I mean, Justin Tucker is an amazing kicker, but like I said, the way the game was going, I was like, let's go get a touchdown. And then they just got stuffed, and then it all happened so fast. Your team just falls apart. You get that loss. But yeah, congrats again, Johnny. Ben actually made it closer than it looked, or closer than it really was anyway,
That touchdown was like the whole all his points right there for Kelsey.
Yeah, we were just speaking about how he benched Patterson this week. Kind of a surprise. We just did like some of our surprises this week.
Started him? Oh, surprise!
No, he did not. Yeah, surprises, disappointments, and then I think where we are here in the show, if you just kind of want to swoop right into where we are, we were going to talk about injuries across the NFL. So
who got this week?
What's that?
Who got injured this week?
So there were quite a few. Do you have Jarvis Landry, Johnny?
Oh yeah, I played him. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he's going to have an MRI done, and he's got an MCL injury, so that was one of the more serious injuries. Yeah. And then also there's also some concern there with Shaker Mayfield. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, he went for a tackle on I think it was it was an interception, and then he got dinged up and his shoulder popped out. So might be a little bit shaky. And more injuries. Tua's out. Tua left the game.
He's got.
Wait, I saw the bottom line. Yeah, wait, they're not broken. They're just bruised.
They're bruised. He'll probably be game time decision to see how much it hurts still.
Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper also with a rib injury.
Amari Cooper got hurt? Oh, man.
Amari Cooper with a rib injury. I'll just give you the rundown. Andy Dalton, I'm sure you know, suffered the knee injury.
Quarterback got banged up.
No, he got a ankle, I thought. No, yeah, it's an ankle.
It says a knee injury here on NFL.
Interesting.
But
CBS says ankle.
That is actually an anomaly right there. I'm literally just reading it from here. No, I'd have to go watch the clip. Yeah, I'd have no clue.
That's funny.
This is just according to NFL. Daryl Henderson, injured ribs. Also, it was a bad week for QB injuries rather. Carson Wentz. Jacob Eason's going to get the start. We know that. Let's see what else we got.
How much did Eason play?
He played a little bit. I think he threw like 10 passes. He threw a pick and he completed a few. He's kind of like throws the ball pretty far. Big dude.
I was gonna say him in the last drive, and I thought at the time Wentz just like they'd put him in to throw a Hail Mary or something, but because he's got a cannon. He was throwing some darts.
He really does, but it'll still be interesting to see how he settles in to his new role. And then
it's been rough for the rookies, man. It's been rough for the rookies this year.
Yeah, we want to do
a segment about that coming up.
Yeah, and so just running through some more injuries here for you. Obviously, again with quarterbacks theme, Tyrod Taylor. So I believe he's not going to play next week. So some injury.
What happened with Justin Herbert last year? Tyrod.
Yeah, he's not playing this Thursday night. He's got to go Thursday, so he's not going. He's got a MRI coming up as well. Davis Mills.
How'd he look?
He looks okay. He's a rookie from Stanford. I don't know. Looks okay, but he's a rookie, and we were just talking about how it's been rough for rookies, and we're going to get into that rookie conversation here, like Downtown was saying. Some more injuries, notables there. Nico Collins, Danny Amendola with a hammy. Anthony Claire with an eye. Then going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's got a tight end. This O'Shaughnessy, his ankle's hurt. I know that name's a doozy, but that guy looks okay. So that'll be a setback for them. Let's see here. What else we got in the world of fantasy? I'm trying to read it. The defensive injuries are important too, but I'm really just trying to cover the offense. So we are talking fantasy football. Deontay Johnson over in Pittsburgh. He suffered a knee injury. I guess according to this, there's no comment. If you guys got any more on that, definitely.
He didn't have a big game, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
having a good year so far.
He's a great NFL talent. He's likely to make a Pro Bowl if he keeps playing the way he's playing. That's pretty much all I got as far as offensive things to watch out for. And then obviously you got to take into account other injuries, but that's kind of the update from the weekend for the most part. Yeah, those are your injury rundowns. So we did want to talk rookie QBs. Speaking of rookie woes, so you guys want to take it away on your thoughts on these rookies?
Oh man,
Belichick got Zach Wilson good right there.
Oh, not just good.
Belichick got that.
Belichick's got the. There was a stat that they posted at his rookie against rookies. I mean, he's just notoriously good against rookies. So
not even fair. Fair.
Insane.
It was bad, and I just couldn't believe it. Each pick that kept happening, I was like, damn, another one. Yeah, that's how they would have tried to. I thought they would have tried to hand the ball off more, from the Jets standpoint. Is once he threw
like the Pats are gonna score a lot.
Yeah, like once they threw a couple interceptions, you're like, God, just have him settle down, and just it got bad.
I was honestly thinking about that with Lamar last night too. Like, at what point do they just need to run the ball all day?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar is still got some work to do on his passing game, but he's no Zach Wilson, so.
Oh, for sure.
Lamar. Yeah, we'll come back to Lamar later. I don't know, man. Like, obviously Zach Wilson is just not having fun whatsoever. Lawrence is kind of my biggest one to think about in terms of expectations, right? Dude's not getting any love. I keep asking you if you've taken a look at their O-line, if that's the problem, or if it's the wideouts.
I watched week 1. Like I said, I would never say it's the worst O-line, but I would not say it's the best either. I mean, that's just kind of the best way to tell, I think, for even an amateur looking at the O-line, trying to analyze it, is just how's the run game. Look at James Robinson. Why is Carlos Hyde keep getting fed the ball? We don't really know. I don't think there's a really good scheme on offense right now in Jacksonville.
That's fucking Urban Meyer with his guy.
So
and I know with college coaches, the script, like the first 15 plays, is a big deal. And I did see Jacksonville's first drive actually did look really good, but then I don't know, after that, I guess it all fell apart.
Yeah, there were some more bright spots this week. I wouldn't say it was as bad as last week, but there's still a lot of disappointment in the world of Trevor Lawrence. He's not living up to the hype so far. He's also making some really crappy throws. But when does that stop? Does Jacksonville turn it around? Not a lot of money on Jacksonville right now as far as being good this year with Urban Meyer. I think a lot of people are thinking he's on his way out after this year. I mean, it's early, but it just kind of feels that way.
There's always controversy.
I mean,
Urban always.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just kind of like the Lions are already 0-2. It's like, here we go again. Probably another really bad losing season, which a lot of us predicted here in Detroit. And then not only that, but that means it could be another head coach carousel. I'm not crazy about the head coach.
I don't know. I think, generally speaking, the team's playing a lot better than I've seen them play for the first 2 weeks.
The key downtown guy is to never ever buy into any Lions hype. That's all I can tell you.
Trust me. I think I told you Lions will be the first team to hit 0-17.
Yeah, 0-16. Never forget.
Shoot, I don't know. Other rookie QBs, Fields saw some
please.
Time because of the injury. Obviously, Andy Dalton most likely gets to start next week. I think I made a call on one of the CRUDcast. He was going to be a starter by week 4. So he's a little premature.
Yeah, I mean, this is NFL. People go down each week. You're the next guy up. I really think Fields has some work to do there as well, and I'm not crazy about the Bears head coach and some of the play calling so far for the first two.
Like for Nagy as a head coach, he's
we got Sean Guy joining our show.
Woo.
While we're talking rookie QBs and Bears, he's a perfect time. So
perfect timing.
Yeah, some work to be done in Chicago for sure. Fields, I'd like to see him running the ball a little bit, obviously. And he threw a pick. That pick didn't look too good. Did you guys see that interception he threw?
I didn't see what it looked like. I can probably watch it. There's a video clip right here, I think.
Yeah, just some rookie nerves once again.
Yeah, I think there's going to be up and downs with all rookies, but I'm really excited to see Justin Fields start. And I know Mac had the good preseason, but I think Justin Fields is the highest upgrade out of all the rookie QBs right now.
Yeah, I really think he's a good fit in that Bears offense with Montgomery, Darnell Mooney, Robinson, and hey, Sean Guy, welcome to the show.
There he is.
How are you doing?
Hey guys, little late tonight. Yeah, the drive-through lines are really insane on a Monday.
Yeah, struggle's real. So we're talking Bears. Well, I think you just came in at the perfect time. What do you got to say about the Bears?
I must say I only watched the highlights. I saw that Dalton got injured and that Allen Robinson scored a touchdown in that game, but was pretty confident that they were going to beat the Bengals in that game just because they're the rookie quarterback coming back, or he's mostly still a rookie coming back from an injury, and I know playing on the road is tough in the NFL, and I definitely had that game and the Raiders as like those were like my two like locks of the week basically.
Gotcha.
What do you think of Justin Fields?
I didn't really get a chance to watch too many of his highlights. I know he didn't do too well as far as like passing yardage wise. But I think given time, I mean, Robinson's obviously a really good receiver. Mooney has pretty good upside, and obviously their running back could be a top 5, top 7 type of running back this year for fantasy. So I know we'll see what the offensive line has in store for the Bears this year, but the defense definitely carry the day for the Bears week 1 over the Bengals at home. And even though Dalton went down, it still looks kind of promising for the monsters of the Midway.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff on the Bears. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about the future of Fields v Dalton with that Fields appearance?
Yeah, I mean it's tough because like from what I remember from the injury report, Dalton went down with it was either like an ankle sprain or like two ankle sprains.
We can't decide. Apparently, NFL says it's a knee injury.
Okay,
but
okay,
CBS says it's an ankle.
I mean,
injury.
I saw the highlight where he got like twisted up and like where he apparently got the knee injury, and it did look like not like a season-ending type of injury, but it did look like a meniscus injury or like an MCL injury where it's going to be like at least 3 weeks for Dalton. That's
okay.
At least because I watched the highlights and I saw that play. And I've seen a lot of injuries in football, and that's initially that's like the type of injury that it looked like. It looked like an MCL or like a meniscus type of injury. So he definitely will be out, like at least from what I can tell, at least a couple weeks. So yeah, I mean you can throw Fields in there, and yeah, I mean as far as
well, it's his job.
Yeah. I mean, like as far as like college quarterbacks, so the past couple of years that I saw either like play like live or like on television, I mean, Fields was arguably more impressive than Lawrence.
Yes, especially in that game where they played each other.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If Fields looks good next week, there's no way they're going to go back to Dalton. Like.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how much that they can get him involved with the run game with Montgomery looking as good as he is. And I think, and I said this before, I drafted Darnell Mooney. I need a tight end. So just to get it back away from our league and back to the Bears more, I somehow think Darnell Mooney's stock goes upward with Fields being out there. It'd be interesting to see what they do differently. Still fairly skeptical, if you want my 2 cents on the Bears. But we'll see.
The other thing I think the Bears have like or will like if Fields does play long term is like the play calling. I think Nagy's a really I think he's a really good play caller, and I think like what
I do too.
I do. I mean he was with KC. He's from the Andy Reid coaching tree. So I think with the dynamic quarterback, I mean. Probably, I mean, initially won't be as dynamic as like I mean, he's not going to blow the roof off like a Mahomes or like a Deshaun Watson.
They might keep the training wheels on him a little
type of impact, but like I know with Nagy calling the plays, I mean, he's an offensive mind, and they have two studs on offense around the quarterback. So you can't really count them out.
So let's move on over to San Francisco. Speaking of rookie QBs and Trey Lance, do you think he's going to get more activity in the run game now that there's so many injuries at running back? Do you think they're going to actually design more plays for Sir Trey?
That's interesting. I like that idea.
I think they might do something, but more red zone type only stuff that's low risk to get him getting hurt.
Yeah, kind of like how the Bears have been using Justin Fields while Dalton was still playing those run packages. I like that idea for Trey.
Yeah, I think it's almost necessary at this point with how ridiculous the injuries are getting. And then
Yeah, who they now?
we failed to mention that somehow in injuries. I think I might have just accidentally passed it up, but we all know obviously there's all three running backs are
Who did they have?
Mitchell came back in the game.
Mitchell,
Though.
we don't know how. We don't know how.
He was hurt, but he came back in.
Is that their only guy now?
Yeah, Mitchell's shoulder is hurt, but we don't know how serious it is. And then
he was hurt, but he came back in the game though. So I mean,
and
he's probably going to be all right.
Speaking of that, something to watch out for though. And then they picked up a guy who's on the practice squad. I think he came over from the Eagles. What's his name again? You guys got a name for me here?
Who's got Frank Gore? It's Frank Gore time, baby.
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore
is out.
He's not on
Gore's out.
It is.
He's retiring the third all-time leader in NFL rushing yards, and he's out.
Let's get him to number 1, man. Just keep playing.
No.
He's got a boxing match set up, dude.
It's over. It's over for Frank Gore. 3 yards and under a carry. It's over.
He's still got it.
His name is Kerryon Johnson. I think he came out of Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn. He was with the Lions. Yeah, he's a dud.
He was on the street. He was on waivers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Injured really bad.
Yep. He was.
What happened?
Lou guy's right. He was with the Eagles, and they waived him.
Thank you. Yeah, he's probably gonna get some playing time this week because there's just that many injuries. And like you said, if you got Elijah Mitchell, which
it's gonna be Mitchell and Lance, baby.
Okay, well, something for you to watch out for.
Kerryon Johnson is gonna be inactive.
I like your confidence, especially after an 0-2 start.
Do they ask for a trade for Le'Veon Bell? Or
no, man.
From the Ravens, because they're not playing him.
Ooh.
No, Bell's. I think he's done.
Bell is done. That's what the word is. That he's just never, he's never going to get back to the Le'Veon Bell of the past. Is what I mean.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, is he better than what's his name they just picked up?
No, Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray. No.
Latavius and Tyson.
It's Latavius or Bell.
Tyson Williams has the job. So.
Yeah, I mean, like to me in Baltimore, it's like an equal split backfield. Like at least from the game, because I watched the whole game.
No,
Chiefs Ravens, and it's like, but you also have to count for like Lamar like as like a pseudo running back too. So
yes.
it's like it's like a third, and a third.
Well, so Tyson Williams
like
is
one guy's the hammer, and then they got like 2 lightning guys.
Exactly, kind of similar to what the Raiders try to do this week, where they put Drake as really just the receiving running back.
They got two lightning guys, and they got 1 hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, and Le'Veon, it's yet to be seen if he's even really gonna. I don't know. I haven't even seen him step onto the field. So. Yeah,
I mean, somebody may have signed him, but like he is like bottom of the barrel, like dart throw for waiver wires. I think this year.
Like Frank Gore done.
Nah, I mean, I don't know, man.
Johnny, this show's got to move on, buddy. All right.
Yeah.
Laying in bed, just dreaming about Frank Gore. Hey,
Frank Gore
go through rookie QBs.
He makes some noise.
What do you guys got on Mac Jones? What do you got on? We talked about Trevor Lawrence, but what do you got on Mac Jones? What do you got on Trevor Lawrence? And I'm missing somebody else. There's another rookie QB out there.
Wilson.
We're not talking about this Wilson. We're done with him.
Well, Wilson's got some problems.
Davis Mills came in for Tyrod Taylor.
Right.
Who?
Right. So we're not going to talk about Mac Jones. We're going to talk about Davis Wilson. All right. So
Davis Mills.
See that.
All right. So just to sum it up, I think Mac Jones looks like the best rookie so far, as far as completion percentage. And
we'll see. We'll see at the end of the year, though. I think he arguably has the worst weapons to work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree that he doesn't have much to work with, but
I think
the most polished.
I think everybody in our league. Yeah. I think everybody in our league is selling Aguilar short, and that's a great buy low candidate right now. Is Nelson Aguilar. And Jonnu Smith hasn't even done crap yet. He is not living up to that $50 million contract, and neither is Hunter Henry. So those are 2 guys to be implemented.
I mean, you don't sign tight ends to big deals though. You know what I mean?
Unless your name
Oh,
is Rob Gronkowski.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Or
it's
Antonio
interesting-
Gates. That's it.
It's an interesting, $100 million there.
You don't sign tight ends. to big
I
deals.
honestly dropped Jonnu, and it's a tough call every week on do you play Jonnu Smith because of the rookie quarterback dilemma that we have in the NFL right now. So what happens? Do you actually know how that guy's going to go out?
Yeah, I mean Burrow's like still like I consider him even still a rookie because he got hurt like halfway through his.
Yeah, he didn't play more than 6 games last year.
John, I'd love to talk. I'd love to talk you dropping Burrow for Derek Carr.
How about that? That won me the game right there.
Where was your brain at when you did that?
I know the Steelers defense gets a lot of hype, and they are good. Especially, I mean, that D line's really good, but their secondary is not very good. I mean, Minka is a really good player, but they're starting a lot of young corners, and I know they play a lot of single coverage. And I know Carr likes to take shots downfield. I just thought that it was going to be a good Carr day.
Good call. At the end of the day,
yeah.
I mean, Burrow's working out some kinks for sure. I think everybody kind of was like an east prediction that he was going to come in a little bit shaky off the injury, but
did you hear today that their press
some good, some bad.
I heard Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were talking about how they were a little frustrated they didn't take more shots downfield. So I think in fantasy you got to look at who are those offenses that are really taking those shots downfield to try and score.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody got to reassess after week 2 here. Speaking of that, did we cover every rookie? Let's go over to the injuries. So you got the guy in the Colts, and then we got Wilson over at the Texans. What do you guys see in Houston's future, especially this week?
For what
How
position?
have they been good this year?
Quarterback. Tyrod Taylor's hurt. Taylor's hurt. He is not going to play.
So who's their quarterback?
It's bless you. It is the rookie Wilson last name. First name I'm drawing a blank.
Davis Mills.
Yes.
Wait, why am I saying Wilson?
Stanford.
Why am I saying Wilson? My bad, y'all.
Yeah, he was their second round pick, correct?
Yeah.
Third round.
He's out of Stanford.
Third round, yeah.
He's out of Stanford. I actually watched the quick highlight. But I don't know.
Yeah, he's not too bad. He's got good size. Like he's got good footwork from what I remember in college.
Looks like a decent pocket passer.
Right.
Well.
Yeah. A big quarterback. So like he's not really gonna run around too much. Like he's gonna stay in the pocket. But I know Cooks is still really good for them, and I know they kind of have like a triple team at running back right now between Ingram and obviously Lindsey and David Johnson. So cool. I know Texans could still be a little bit dangerous on offense with the new quarterback coming in, but they definitely had a really nice matchup week 1. And but besides that though, I mean, I think it's gonna be a long year for the Texans. Like no matter who's at quarterback, whether Watson plays or not, just because of all the things that have happened, all the things that will progress as the season goes on. Like unless Watson is like reinstated like week 4 or week 5, like it's going to be a really long year for the Texans, I think. Yeah. So they just, I don't know, like especially at the wide out,
better than expected.
Especially at the wide out in the tight end position. I mean, it's as outside of Cooks. I mean, it's not looking too good for them.
It's not a good situation, but they've played better than I thought they would so far.
Yeah, I mean, first game though, it was against a really easy opponent, the Jaguars. With a new coaching staff, and like they're still like developing like a lot of their schemes and a lot of their implementation that they do. So I mean that was kind of like a slam dunk for them week 1, but we'll see though. I mean, like the AFC South, I mean, the Titans had a really nice comeback win on the. I still think it's like the Titans division to lose though in the long run, because like Wentz has already been hurt for the Colts, and
Wentz has kind of been playing it through a lot of frustration. It looks like too, if you've had a chance to watch the Colts this year.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him, man.
Yeah.
I do too. I don't know what it is. It's
Very.
just makes me feel bad for him.
I am also very frustrated out of what happened with Jay Taylor the week 2 there. Like they had multiple shots at the end zone in the first couple quarters there, and they just did not punch it in. So it's definitely a worrying sign for Indianapolis.
Yeah, Taylor's such a big talent and kind of a cruddy situation.
Okay, yeah. Dude, I fucking like cracked the screen of my phone after that fumble last night in that game. That was,
Oh no, dude.
it's like it's totally fucked.
Gotta have the case, bro. Oh, it's all fuzzy.
The screen of my phone is like, it still works. Like it's in like 100 pieces, but like I don't know, no parts of it like left the screen though. So I think it'll still be all right. Like I've been taking calls and like still like doing all the apps that I normally do. So I think it's gonna be good. But damn, that fucking fumble last night was unbelievable. Like, yeah, like that was.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. Okay, so what they want to talk about, the waiver wire?
Yeah, I don't know what to talk waiver. I don't want to give you guys any of my plays here.
Right. I mean,
it's
either me or
when you take a loss, you're like, oh hell no.
It's either me or Tate, right? For the for number 1 spot. Like, did I score more points than him?
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I did. This week I did.
No way.
No,
Yes,
you
I
didn't.
did. Yeah,
No, you
he's got 87 points. I have 94 points.
No way. You must have caught up late with that A-Rod.
Yeah. I mean, you knew
Yeah,
Rodgers.
no.
You knew
Yeah,
Rodgers was gonna get some points tonight.
Hey, you got
he's
up to
got
the
the one
90s.
spot.
Congratulations.
Right. But I still think the waiver wire priority is mine though, because I have because of last week. I still have like the least amount of like total points for it, and I think that's like the number 1 tiebreaker.
It should say your waiver order.
What?
It says right now he's the number 1.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have it, and I can tell you this right now. I'm dropping Chark and I'm picking up Sony Michel.
Dropping Chark for Sony Michel.
Yep.
Out of all the waivers
Henderson busted up his rib a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
And Michelle looked.
I like it. I like
Michelle,
that.
Michelle
That's a very
looked all
low
right
key
in
smart play with
in-
a strong
in limited carries. I think he only had like 8 or 10 carries, but like
strong
he
offense.
averaged. So I mean, going to the Rams, I mean that was like a huge, like not only a huge plus for him, but like a huge addition. NFC West goes it's like okay, so there's 2-0. So I'll go Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals. That's how I rank it right now through 2 weeks. With like the Rams and Seahawks like basically like at a dead heat.
I'm not as high on the Seahawks. I don't know why. Anyone else feel that?
Yeah, I mean they're
Seahawks have a difficult time clinching tough games down the stretch.
It's weird.
And it always feels like it's going to go Russell's way.
Yeah, their defense is definitely not as spicy as it used to be, but I know
Very good point.
I think with the additions that they've made on offense with the running back, them leaning on Carson a little bit, and with Lockett kind of like busting through a little bit, like with the emergence of Metcalf, it just like the offense like can like overcome like some of the deficiencies that they have on defense to kind of like put them over the top in most games.
For sure,
I'm saying
all teams, the whole NFC West is like that though. All of them have really good offenses.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I don't know. The Niners and the Rams have the most, and the Cardinals still have like something to prove, you know, because like Murray's like he's still only like through his like second year, and who's their coach? It's like Kingsbury. He's their coach, so I mean he's still kind of learning on the job, and like I don't know. I know for me, I always like go back to the coach that's like been there the longest, and like that's like kind of like time and proven that they can like get through the game or like win in the big moment. And Pete Carroll has definitely done that.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since they've really proven themselves. I feel like like Louis said, in big games, crunch time, they haven't come through.
Yeah, I mean their defense is definitely a notch or two below what it was like during Russell's first couple of years, but
for sure.
But also at the same time, I think Russell has become like a much better quarterback and a much better like leader like in that time. So that to me is like what puts them kind of like a little bit over Arizona, because like Arizona's still kind of like they have like new guys, you know what I mean? Like Hopkins just got traded over to them, and they just signed Green, and they have the rookie wideout too. So like they still have some moving pieces, you know what I mean? I mean the Cardinals have a shit ton of potential, but like it's all like very, very, I don't know, they're still like
looking good so far.
Right. They're still like playing through it, and like I don't know, like me, like for me personally, I am like one of the biggest Murray critics, but man, in that last game though, I mean he definitely kind of shut me up a few times, because he made some insane throws. So
yeah, they're looking great.
But I don't know, it's a long season though, so we'll see. I mean, a lot of it has to do with staying healthy, and he's a quarterback that likes to scramble a little bit. So I mean, you can we'll see if that comes into play.
Okay, so I didn't get to hear your guys' waiver plays. Downtown guy, I hear that you don't want to give them out to the world.
No, I do not.
Keep playing the cards close to your chest.
I'm low on the waiver wire. I have to be careful because these guys might scoop them up before I can get a chance.
Sean guy, you're already blatantly telling everybody what you're gonna do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. As far as like an overall fantasy perspective, I mean, like there's basically one wide receiver or two wide receivers where you can make a case for to say that like the one guy who looked really impressive in the Thursday night game was Sterling Shepard. And
I was gonna thank you, because I was gonna mention,
and he's especially good in like our type of league with like half PPR, or even more so for a full PPR league. Like
looks like the best chemistry Daniel Jones has.
I would definitely like put like Sterling Shepard like in the top 3 or top 4 for like your overall your number one waiver claim for this week. Outside of the top 2 running backs. I mean, he's I watched the whole Washington Giants game, and yeah, I mean he's got that shiftiness. He's got that like you said, Lou guy. He's kind of got that rapper with Jones where they can kind of get on the same page. Like for the most part, and
Galladay is kind of struggling to gain that, and until then. I think Shepard just was somebody I liked in the last 3 years. Basically, I just really thought he underplayed his value, and he's starting to really shine. I think once he changed his numbers, the center of the gravity of the sun shifted its axis to the 360-degree angle that penetrated his brain. And then at that point, Daniel Jones was able to intercept the brainwave and throw him the ball.
More. He does look faster with that 3 on for sure.
Yeah, he looks good.
But I'll just say, like, going back to like halfway through the year last year. Yes, I mean Shepard, he gets double-digit targets a week. He's usually catching like 7 or 8 of them. So that's in our league,
a lot of yak, a lot of
4. Yeah, he's going to be consistent. The only thing I worry about is if he doesn't score a touchdown, the Giants' offense is just so stale. Like there's just not that much production happening
on any given week.
On good days. Even on the good days.
I think that could change though if Barkley if Barkley turns it on a little bit, and he looked a little bit better week 1 to week 2. So I mean,
true, but here's the thing: is people are saying with that knee injury that it almost takes another year for him to come all the way back.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you're Adrian Peterson,
right? Exactly.
I know. I think Barkley is kind of like a freak of nature, kind of like I mean, no one's Adrian Peterson, but like he is like right in that wheelhouse though.
No one beats their kids in a parking lot and gets in trouble.
If you watch his college highlight tape, I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah, Barkley's okay. He's okay. But with Shepard and Fantasy, you were saying Galladay's off to a slow start, which he is, but he is coming off that hamstring where he didn't even practice until like week 1. So I think Galladay's going to start eating some more targets, and also Evan Ingram's really close to coming back. I think he always eats up a good amount of targets too. So be careful with Shepard. I wouldn't feel good about like starting him, but he should definitely be owned.
Yeah, I like him in this league. And then I just like him.
Like a flex spot.
I'd pick him up and throw him on my bench to see what he does. If I had to play him, if I had like somebody hurt or something like that, then a flex spot at the very least, but or at the very most rather. What else we got on the world of waiver? What I gotta check.
I mean, like as far as like quarterbacks are concerned, I mean, you can't like deny like Daniel Jones for the Giants too.
Hey, Sean, guy, I got to interject for a second. A downtown guy's got to go. I just wanted to say goodbyes here for everybody. Do you got any last words for us, downtown guy?
I got my ass kicked this week. I love it. I hope I can beat CCC next week, which I'm pretty sure I can. So
yeah, you got a decent matchup depending on Joshy the Allen. That'll be here.
Yeah.
If Josh Allen has a mediocre week, I like your team a lot more. I'm gonna get.
Yeah, I gotta hope my moves go through. I don't know. I'm too low in the waivers. I probably won't get anybody I want. So yeah, lots of negativity, not a lot of positivity. Week 3, let's go. Starting fresh. Team IPAs.
Yeah. You get the rebound against Tate's team. That's perfect. I wish I played Tate's team week 3.
I mean, I could be playing Shtiek instead.
Yeah.
Auto Shtiek.
Auto Shtiek.
All right, man.
All right, boys.
Take care of yourself.
Till next time.
All right. See you, Matt.
Thanks for coming on. Then there were 3. And this is the way my show goes. It's how you know you're dealing with amateur porn. It's one guy just comes in whenever the hell he wants after he's drinking enough IPAs with his boys and got enough Taco Bell drive-through and said enough dumb things to the general public, and he comes home and he realizes he's got no life. So you might as well hop on here with a guy who has
another
more no life than him.
Another quarterback we should talk about is Sam Darnold with the resurgent Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, downtown guy is actually talking about him as well. We were texting, and I also think he looks good. My thoughts real quickly are he's playing smart, and with CMC playing out of his mind, as long as he's
you don't have to do you don't have to try and fuck it up too bad.
But it's like Shaq says, it's all in the eyes. Like if you look over at Darnold, he's doing just that. He's not overdoing it. He's not underdoing it, and they're playing well in Carolina. The defense looks good, but back to Darnold. Great decision making, high IQ.
Same with like Bridgewater with the Broncos. I mean, it's more of just a case of like knowing like what your team's strengths is, but like I know, both those quarterbacks have like played really, really smart the first couple of weeks, and like they know that their teams have like really, really good defenses. So like you don't have to like go for like the really, really like big like low percentage play.
Sean guy. It's interesting you're talking about Darnold and you brought up Bridgewater, and we were talking about waivers just a second ago because I just realized they're both available in our league.
Yeah, and Jones. I still think Jones is
okay. Sure. And we were talking about him a second ago. We were talking about him a second ago too.
Yeah.
So
for the rushing yards.
No, absolutely. It's a decent play if you have nothing, or if you're streaming. And I'm getting to the point with especially I guess like if you're in Johnny's position. I got Stafford, but I'm getting to the point where it's like if I got enough balls to say I'm really not sure what Kirk is going to do, I really wish we would have voted in, and I asked for a vote from you guys, and I said, you want 6 or 7 spots on the bench. Me and Ben voted 7. I personally know that. I really wish we had 7 because I got another spot in my heart for somebody on these waivers.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We picked 6. It makes it a little bit more competitive and edgy. And decisions have to be a little more serious. Okay. And that's the way everybody's feeling. So that's why we vote on it. And that's cool that we can do that. But anyway, I wanted to say I'm getting to the point where those guys are starting to look really attractive, especially Darnold and especially Bridgewater. And as far as just having them on my squad, that way, if Stafford gets a tough matchup, like next week he's playing, I believe, Tampa Bay.
That's like game of the week.
if I get a difficult matchup like so.
Hey man, I see what you're saying, but I feel like you still got to go Stafford in that situation most of the time.
That's great for those people that are really considering that. But if you want to know my final thoughts, I'm not really going to do it. I'm just saying, if I get in hot water, it's just tempting for me to grab Bridgewater now and just let him sit on my team all year, just to be like, nope, I got him. You're not getting him because as a big fantasy word of the year, it seems to be upside.
The Broncos are 2-0, and like at this point, they're probably not going to the guy who they drafted in the first round a couple of years ago. Their defense has proven enough, and like I do think that they have a outside shot to. I mean, it's a very outside shot to upset the Chiefs, but like I know, like with the way that Gordon's playing and with what they have at receiver. When Judy comes back and Cortland Sutton, I mean, I know you like if Bridgewater stays upright and stays healthy and like directs them in a pretty reasonable fashion. I mean, you really can't count on the Broncos because like they have a really good. I mean, their head coach is like basically like an acting defensive coordinator, and he's like really smart with like game plans or whatever. So I mean, I don't know, they and like in the past couple of years that like they have acquired like quite a bit of talent.
I was gonna say, like, if you don't look at the QB position across the league and you're just evaluating everyone else on everyone's rosters, Denver is like low key a top 10 roster.
Yeah.
And Bridgewater, if he's playing like this, like they're
right. Not turning it over. Because that's what that rookie was doing. Like all the past like year or two.
Yeah, he sucked.
Locke was just like he was like losing them football games basically,
sure.
Like fumbling and like throwing interceptions. But yeah, I mean Bridgewater, I mean he's when he's healthy, I mean he's accurate for the most part, and he avoids the really boneheaded play. So I mean he's definitely one you want to look out for.
So let's make this a league specific niche podcast until we take the higher level and get 1 million subscribers and break down our league. And even then we still might be able to do it and cover valid points in the fantasy football world. Yeah. Sean Guy, let's break down your game here as you are now 0-2 and you seem to have a rough couple of weeks, even though when you look at your squad, there's a lot of talent there. What do you got to say about specifically, please also break down your opponent and what went wrong and what went well.
Yeah, I mean, what went right, I'll just start that off as like the Browns defense. I mean, they didn't score like up to their projected point total, but like still pretty good. 21 points, sack, a forced fumble, INT. I mean, the Browns defense looks really talented early on in the year. Obviously, their offense is like, as long as their running back and the quarterback are healthy, I mean, the Browns are going to be a really tough team to play like all year long. So they have a defensive player of the year candidate in Myles Garrett. So definitely like the Browns defense. Rodgers had a bounce back game. Obviously, that was kind of like one of the lock fantasy plays of the week this week against the Lions secondary, who unfortunately lost one of their first round picks. So I mean, like looking at my overall roster, I mean, it was kind of unfortunate that Jacobs was out at Pittsburgh. Hopefully he comes back. I don't know, but for the most part, I mean, it's basically like my running backs underperformed, and I did not get much out of the flex spot or my tight end spot.
By the way, Jacobs, there is no word yet if he's going to play next week. It's still up in the air.
Yeah. So I mean,
how do you feel about your boy DJ Chark?
Yeah, Chark to me, I mean, he's the guy that's like,
I'm selling Chark.
He was on my team last year, and like I still go back to, it was either his rookie year or his second year when he had the really, really nice year. He had like over 1,000 yards with like eight or nine touchdowns, and like it just
2019 he had a decent amount of touchdowns.
It doesn't look like he's going to be able to put it all together consistently. So for me, he is like my number one drop on my roster, because I still like some of the upside for especially Ayuk and especially Pittman. But like for me, it's like Michelle is like the clear pickup, especially if Jacobs is out. But like it's between like Rieger and Chark, and like I don't know, it's very, very close. But
yeah, I'd like to see Ayuk getting more involved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, based on what I saw from last year from Ayuk, I mean, I think that guy can like still be like their number one receiver. I think he's still like, he's working back from injury a little bit, and I don't know, I still think the Niners are going to be really, really good this year. So
he kind of ignored Pittman, but he had 12 targets, and not only that, but I mean, he's a big talent.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
but the thing is, Wentz is down now, so that kind of almost like it was like a
had I started Pittman instead of Chark, I still would have lost, I think, by like 5 or 10 points or something like that. So I'm not like too.
No, yeah, you would have lost.
I'm not too upset by the bench, by leaving him on the bench or whatever. Like I knew when I took him in the draft, like it was a really, really good value. And like, I don't know, like watching him a little bit in college, like you could definitely tell that he has like, he's not like a burner, but like he's a really good, he's a strong
receiver.
He can catch the football. He can go up and get it. I mean, he's
tough.
Yeah, very, very tough, physical, kind of taller receiver.
Yep, talented young man.
So I mean, I definitely like the upside for Pittman and Ayuk a little bit more than Chark at this point, because like to me, Chark is like he's had now like this is his 4th season, and like I don't know, to me it's like, I don't know, either you've got something going by year 2 or year 3, or it's like, I don't know, you can find somebody else like on the waiver wire. I mean, like if it's not like Michelle, like I said, that's like number one, like I'd probably pick up Sterling Shepard to plug and play for my flex spot. But
Rieger still has some upside. Speaking of upside, I don't know exactly what you're going to do with him, but anywho, a little Easter egg here I thought I'd sneak in. Elijah Moore on the opposite side here on your opponent. 2 tackles for Elijah Moore.
How many receptions?
They literally put it down.
He was on the bench.
8 receptions. It was those interceptions from Zach Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, looking at my opponent, I mean, he made the right choice on every single.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. I mean, he nailed the lineup like exactly right. Like he could have put in Robinson.
My theory is he could have
put in the Ravens D, but that was kind of borderline. He's got 2 pretty good defenses though, Rams. So
I got a theory that Guam is the opposite of the Bermuda Triangle of fantasy football, if you follow that logic. Weird, tiny little island in the Pacific Ocean where somehow you're just able to make all the right fantasy football moves every single week because it's a 2-time champ, and he just keeps, as much as he's 1-1, I feel like he's really outdone himself with that last spot in the draft this year.
Who are we talking about?
That is the former champ. Slick is still a fraud, aka Mike Guy, aka Mike Kuczynski. I got to do a little video on who these people are for Johnny every single week. Jalen Hurts.
Just tell me which team you're talking about.
Jalen Hurts. I honestly just still think he's just outdoing himself as far as what I thought he was going to do. Najee Harris. Did you see the stiff arm?
He's still nice though in fantasy terms because he gets those rushing. I mean, you look at his overall line, like only 190 yards passing, but man, like there aren't too many other quarterbacks you'd rather have like as far as like being able to tuck it and run, and like the only other two quarterbacks I can think of are like Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray.
The difference is that Murray is able to do both. And then the other thing is, so is Jackson. I think a lot of people are kind of dogging his passing game.
I don't know.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't care because I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I saw the way he finds Hollywood Brown, and I know Jalen Hurts can do the same type of thing. But if people start queuing up to Jalen Hurts as they do in the NFL, it'll be interesting to see what he does going forward.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely out of all three of those has the most to prove for sure.
But anywho, Mike Davis looks like he's losing the starting gig to Patterson at some point here. I don't know if that's true, but I'll tell you what, I was impressed week 1 with Patterson. Just when he did get onto the field, he just had so much more juice than Mike Davis, and just in general, it's really hard for you with how bad Atlanta's playing to ignore that. Matt Ryan needs to.
Is he a traditional running back though, or is he more of like a gadget type of guy?
He's not. Why? And I don't understand realistically your theory on that. If you've seen the footage.
He took snaps under.
He's a beast.
Like at the halfback. What was the snap count or carries for the two of them?
Davis had 9 carries and 7 receptions.
Personally, I answer that question saying no. I do not think he is quote unquote a gadget type player. Because I watched the footage week 1, they're able to hand the ball to that guy, and he's able to run up the middle, run outside. He can catch the ball in the flat and then do big things, and that's what he was able to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no doubting that he has like exceptional vision. I mean, he's like one of the best kick return guys that's ever been in the league. So I mean,
we'll see.
To have the skills that he has as far as like the elusiveness, like what you were talking about, Lou Guy, with the quickness. I know I'm still a little bit skeptical of like long term if that's going to hold up at the running back spot.
Sure,
that's my only thing.
My big money's on Patterson going forward. My big money is on fantasy football. It's a changing week by week game that leaves people in the dust. Go ahead.
For fantasy football, I'm just thinking touchdowns here. And do you think they would Patterson goal line touches? That's probably going to still be Mike Davis, right?
It's true. I think Mike Davis is going to be your goal line guy. Your audio cut out a little bit.
7 catches.
Okay, that's true. But I think Davis, in the way that the Falcons are, in a nutshell, I appreciate the debate. But I do want to clarify, no matter what you guys tell me, I have watched all of Atlanta's footage all year, and I'm not sold on Mike Davis.
He does look better.
If I had Mike Davis on my team right now, and then I had Patterson, I'd play Patterson. It's that simple. In fantasy, next week, I'd just say, I think Patterson's gonna outdo him right now.
I think it's more
week 3
than you think.
But
I think it's pretty 50-50.
But it's a great guy to have regardless for Ben Guy. And Mike Davis, you don't just drop him. But I'm just trying to point out guys on Mike's team that might be a little bit weary. Najee Harris is not that guy, by the way. I think he's the polar opposite. After watching that stiff arm for almost whether he got the first down on that play or not was ridiculous. That tackler for Oakland was like notorious for being a bully kind of tackler, to quote the announcer, and he just threw him down to the ground. So Najee Harris, at that age, not the best fantasy numbers in the world, but it's definitely you're definitely RB2 at the very least, RB1 this year. CeeDee Lamb, same thing. Devontae, also good. Logan Thomas, T. Higgins, can't let him go. Rams D, arguably the best defense. I just want to rifle through Mike's team because we got to get to other games here. Jacoby Myers, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Bryan Edwards. I think that's the biggest upside. If Zach Wilson doesn't play that crappy, obviously you want to hang on to Elijah Moore as well. Robinson needs to get the ball more over in Jacksonville. Mike, that was my breakdown of your team. If you guys got anything else to say about Mike's squad, especially you, Sean, since you played him this week, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, I mean, Hurts like almost like met like his expected fantasy value. Like every one of his guys, like I'm looking at like up and down his lineup, like they all pretty much scored like their expected value, like plus or minus like a point or maybe a point and a half. I mean, he had a very, very consistent performance from CeeDee Lamb. He had a lot of catches in his game. Devontae Adams obviously did very well against Detroit last night on Monday night. And even Higgins for Cincinnati got in the end zone for him. So I mean, he had many different guys that got him over the century mark this week. But yeah, I mean, he's got a. I mean, if you look at his, I mean, the bench, like long term, I think could be a little bit of a concern, outside of like Robinson maybe, but like, he's like as far as like a starting fantasy lineup is concerned. I mean, if Hurts is getting those rushing yards, I mean, that's he's going to be a pretty tough team to beat. If Hurts is performing up to his expected value.
Yeah, I see that being a little bit of a rocky road. Anyway, Johnny, let's move over to your team and your matchup versus Meme Lords featuring now DOGEcoin. What do you got to say about your team?
That was a great game. Let's see here. Bill D came out to play. Dude, it's crazy how much points we're giving defenses. 28.
Well, you had 6 sacks, and then one interception, a forced fumble with a recovery. Not only that, but they shut out Miami. So anytime your defense shuts out the other team, you're going to score 20. Pretty much, you're going to be up there.
Yeah, and he had a good defense performance too. Man, I just feel bad for Ben. He just didn't play the right guys, and I don't think like they were all like.
Well,
like
Antonio Brown over Mike Evans is
the
like
thing is you
absolutely wrong.
You can laugh it off, but the thing is, if you look at week 1, that's the perfect call. And then if you look at week 2, it's the ass backwards. And here's the problem. Here's the problem. The main problem.
You got to go week to week though, but like.
But here's where I get at with fantasy football being difficult and your coaching decisions being difficult. When you have Mike Evans, like I did last year, it's always a difficult play because some weeks he wants 2 touchdowns, and other weeks he gives you 60.
Though he's like aside from Gronkowski, he's their number one.
But he's not
number
like
one
Devontae,
target. Yeah,
but he's not like Devontae Adams. It's not like he goes out there, gets you 10, 20 points a game, and you just absolutely don't sit him. I think he's a guy that you can throw on your bench a certain week, but it's the odds of you predicting it are nearly impossible. Are you with me? I had him all last year.
Yeah.
If you're with me, it is nearly impossible because of your logic. It's like if you sit him, it's almost destined that he's going to get a touchdown because he's a touchdown beast.
Yeah, I mean, I like totally disagree with that with that train of thought. I mean, if he's on my roster, I'm like pretty much never benching him.
I never did. Okay, so if you're following my train of thought, I'm just letting you know it messes with your mind.
You're talking about Lockett, right?
No, we're talking about
Mike Evans.
No, we're talking about Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. But similar situations where like, when you own them, it's frustrating because you usually play them all the time and then they have a bad week.
I never did bench him, but I'm just saying there were a couple of games where he comes up short. He comes up short with a touchdown, and Mike Evans likes to go for about 30, 40, 50 yards. The way he plays, he's a big guy. He's not the fastest on the field. It's a very strategic way that him and Brady work together. Even if you look at his past, it's not the same Mike Evans. It's a new, very I said, strategic almost Mike Evans. And I agree. I don't think I ever did bench him, Sean, to my defense. So I'm not saying I'm not saying you were saying I don't follow your train of thought. I think you almost do because I still played him. But that's what I did mention it in the chat to Ben. But by playing Brown, I think
would Would Ben have won had he played Goff instead of Tannehill?
Yep.
If he plays
had him
Goff,
before, like,
Goff and Patterson,
Sunday.
then yeah. I mean, the thing is, you don't bench Tannehill over Goff, and then
He almost did. I think he had Goff in his starting lineup for like half the
I
week.
personally,
dude, that's so close.
personally, I would not. I do, however,
I think he's still come up a little bit short.
I really think you do play Evans over Brown, and then it was kind of that simple.
Yeah.
Hey Louis, I had AJ Brown last year too, and there's a lot of those receivers where we were picking in like rounds 3, 4, 5, where it's those are the guys that are gonna have some really good weeks and some really bad weeks. You just never know when they're coming.
I mean, I personally just think that that's where he lost the game. If you just want to say that's the only move I would have done differently.
Right, like you wouldn't play Patterson.
Here's the thing. My lineup would have been simply Mike Evans, DJ Moore, and Brown. They're too good for right now, and the way Darnold's playing, the way the Carolina offense is, for me just to say, I ain't gonna play more because just this is how I'm feeling. But
funny, I actually did that in my other league for Deebo Samuel.
That sucks. That really sucks. By the way,
it was like 20 points versus 15, so I still squeaked out of the W. But yeah,
I mean, Deebo's just kind of got the hot hand right now. But anywho,
receivers are tough to know who to play. Yeah.
Back over to Ben Guy going forward next week and looking at his squad. Henderson's a little bit dinged up. I don't think the call is officially made yet if he's going to play because it's a rib injury. It says actually that 5 hours ago that they're optimistic about him playing. So I like the Sony Michel pickup, but Sean Guy, just a little bit of worry there for you, thinking you're going to throw him in your lineup and he's going to go off because if Henderson's good to go, they're going to split carries. And
So I mean, if I just read that myself, and if that's the case, I mean, definitely might throw in
Shepard.
Yeah, I mean Shepard, yes, but like I almost lean towards running back because like I kind of have too many wideouts. I think at this point.
Gotcha. It's all about what you need.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's either Michelle for me or Latavius Murray, which will.
I was gonna segue into like we all have these like pretty good receivers and
right. Yeah. I mean, I really like my top 2 receivers,
and everyone is having trouble with running backs. It seems like everyone could use a running back or two, and I'm just happy with the way Tony Pollard played, and even Michael Carter is starting to look good as the rookie.
Thank you for bringing that up before we go away from your game, because I was going to say you really got handed a lucky coin there, or whatever you want to call it, but with Pollard because
you can call it luck.
because Barkley was such a bust on your first round, and that's why I told Tate not to draft him if Barkley fell to him. I mean, I'm not saying it's over yet. I'm just saying right now you're trying to get wins.
You know what? I'm not even that worried about the knee. Like he looks fine. He's going to be fine. It's just when are they going to give him that workload, and when is the Giants' offense going to actually look
when and
like
if
in the run game? Yeah, for sure.
It's when and if right now because if it gets ugly in the NFL, it just gets uglier sometimes.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, we've had a battle line his whole career. He's been with us, so he's gonna break out of this eventually. He's probably not gonna finish where he was drafted, but he's probably still gonna finish in the top 12 running backs.
Are you 15? Are you buying or selling Sterling Shepard's viewpoint that if you don't see Daniel Jones' talent and potential, then you're blind?
You know, it's funny
because I'm selling.
You rewind.
I think I'm buying. I think I'm buying.
Great job. If you rewind the clock 3 years ago, and
he is a lot better.
All right, let's move through our.
I'm just saying, what the fuck?
Let's move through our league here.
Yeah. All right.
I wanted to know if you're buying or selling.
Buying.
It's my team.
Burrow's protection. Yeah. Do you have any last thoughts on your team? My team.
I was saying like the Giants, but yeah.
Let's move over to Burrow's protection plan and Spartantrooper doesn't kneel. I honestly think with that quarterback matchup, it was a steal for Jackson to come up with more points than Mahomes. So I think he lucked out as far as winning that battle.
Rushing.
And then Aaron Jones with a huge night. Singletary doing all that you would want from him in Buffalo with how much they pass the ball. Godwin, another big game. I tried to warn him about Davis. Didn't listen to me, but he didn't have that many more options. He's hanging on to Beckham, which personally I might let go myself. Obviously, it seems like his flex spot is the biggest, in my eyes, downtown guy. Your flex spot's your biggest question mark. Are you going to play Devontae Smith? Who do you guys play if you got Devontae Smith going forward next week, Tyson Williams, Javonte Williams, or Tyler Boyd? What's your favorite player to plug in there in your flex?
Devontae.
Okay. Easy call for you, Sean Guy.
Yeah, that is a pretty close call. I haven't really watched a lot of the Broncos games, so I'd probably lean the other way and just go Boyd, just like based on like the number of targets that he's going to get. Cincinnati's going to be passing.
More than Devontae?
Than who?
Devontae Smith.
I thought you said I thought you guys were talking about Javonte, not
no,
Devontae.
You said Devontae.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I was a really, really big critic of Smith coming out of college.
Yeah, you were. Got it right this week.
Yeah, just because of how, like, I don't know.
The 175 thing gets you going.
Right, yeah.
You just have an ideal weight. You like the big receivers, dude.
The weight to me is
kind of
like
sus, dude. You're attracted to tall men. You ever heard of Tyler Lockett? The guy's like 5 foot tall. He's running around.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's a little bit beefier than Devontae is.
You like that beef?
He's got a little bit more muscle on him right now than Smith.
I personally, if it's my call, I go Tyson. I like the volume he's getting in Baltimore. I like the way that they run the ball.
Still with that skill though, right? 33.
But maybe a week. There's maybe a week.
That's the nice thing about having Jackson.
He's got some things to play with.
He's such a good runner.
He's got some things to play with because maybe you put Tyson over Singletary. You throw Singletary. You think about Singletary at your flex. You put Davis on your bench, and then you throw in, think about him at the flex, and then maybe you put Boyd in at that point. And then
Singletary was an option in all this.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying he's got some things to play around with on his squad.
Okay, yeah.
So I was just saying, who do you put at the flex if he's playing this? I play Boyd. If it's got to be my two,
Singletary.
His wide receivers are weaker than other teams in the league.
Why Boyd over Smith?
Why Boyd over Smith? I didn't say that. I said Boyd over Davis.
I said Boyd.
I personally would be a very severe toss up, basically, if I had to choose a Boyd over Smith.
Yep.
But I would just exit Davis for now until I see more from Zach Wilson. And then you got a toss up at that point with what you're doing at the flex, because you got Tyson, Javonte, Devontae, and then I hate to say this, but you even got AJ Green lingering there, making you think.
That's what I'm saying. All of us have
Green is like number 4 on that team in targets.
I'm just saying, man. This week versus next week. Okay, so moving over to the opposite squad. I think his is a little bit more straightforward with his lineup decisions. Obviously, especially with that performance of Julio this week, that was one of the games I got to watch in full. Julio looked great. That was one of the great things the Titans did on the pass offense.
Which game are we on now? Spartan
Trooper. So over to the Titans and the Seahawks this week. The Titans struggled to throw the ball a little bit, and there was a lot of pressure on Tannehill, Crandy Hill, but I like Julio going forward. Cooper Kupp is a straight up beast, and not only that, but just a fantasy monster if he continues to play that way.
I mean, his bench sucks, but he might have the best like top like up and down lineup out of anybody.
He was one of my favorite teams out the draft, but you got to realize you can't dog Mike Williams.
I like his bench.
Mike Williams, you got to throw in there, dude. So if it's me, it's a simple swap for Edmonds for Williams, and I'm rolling with this team. If he stays healthy, his team, I'd be sleeping well.
Yeah. McCaffrey with Jackson is like, if they play the whole year, I mean, that's gonna be tough to beat. But you never know come playoff time.
True. Louis, everything changes in the beginning, from the beginning to the end for sure.
Guys, Gibson, what was he? He was drafted like early second, right?
Yeah, second round.
Are you guys starting to sell him?
No.
Yeah, I almost thought about taking Gibson with my second. I think I took Taylor first round.
I think Gibson's one of the best.
I almost went back to back running backs. I almost took Gibson with my second pick.
Well, he's kind of been a bust. We were talking about Saquon, but and J.D. McKissic is like 50% of the snaps.
I don't know how accurate that is on J.D. McKissic. Is that a completely accurate stat?
He had a big week.
Let me actually find that for you, because I think JD is on waivers, and that's actually a great player to be paying attention to, and that play was necessary. Honestly, if you're Gibson, I think you like that kind of activity from McKissic. It kind of lightens the load a little bit, similar to a Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt element. It might not be your 20, 30-point game, but it helps you.
I think for McKissic, it's more of like an outlier.
The snap percentage is not out there yet, by the way. He had 4 attempts, 10 yards on rushing.
He had 4.
He's a receiving. Yeah,
exactly. He had 4
Gibson so high with the receiving production, and
that 83 yards was a huge catch too. By the way, it was a huge catch that brought in that stat.
Yeah. I saw it. One really, really long. Yeah, it was like a 50-yard pass.
Personally, Johnny, if you want my end goal on what I do with Gibson, I'm chilling. That's a great RB2. I don't know what else to say. I think there's a little bit there's a little bit of a storm brewing as far as how good is Heineke going to keep playing, because that game could have gone either way. That was a crazy game, and I don't know. I almost like Fitzpatrick coming back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Heineke seems to be hanging on to the job for now. So, moving right through the league, though. By the way, I don't really know if Spartantrooper is one of our listeners or not. I highly doubt it. I don't think we have any. But IPAs with my boys versus Sipster Cam A's. Bad week for Triple C. You outdid him at the last second there with A-Rod. So I was talking to Tate tonight, actually in person. He looks pretty concerned. He looks concerned with his team, but I liked his team from the draft, and I had some positive things to tell him after that. Speaking on that, how can you have Kamara, Josh Allen, Swift, the only really good Lions player, Robert Woods, Jamar Chase, Andrews, and Harris? How can you have that team and be worried?
Steelers let him down.
Steelers let him down, but other than that, what are you doing hanging on to Watson? I don't know. I like you having Gainwell. If I'm Tate, I drop Watson, try to make a move.
Yeah, Ruggs was probably a play over Woods, maybe.
No, never. Not straight up before the week starts.
Yeah, that's hindsight.
That's a hindsight. That's a hindsight. I can tell you that you're saying that exactly. I'm with Johnny on that. Not to one up him, but you're saying that out of hindsight, man. There's no way you would have said that before the game. Personally, against Pittsburgh. Not only that, but there's skeptics right now on Ruggs if he's going to be able to perform like that week in, week out. So that's where
he was like non-existent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sure. He's either non-existent or you have that 20-point game. It's easy to say it hindsight, but
who's his flex guy?
His flex guy is Harris, and I think you got to play Harris. So to me, it's almost, do you play Jamar Chase or do you play Ruggs?
Yeah.
So,
I'm not as high on his team as you are.
I'm a Woods guy, man. I'm an adamant.
Super Cup.
Cooper Kupp and Woods are a very good duo. If I have both of them, I'm almost playing both of them. I mean, they're that good.
You know, the last couple of years, they would go back and forth too, who has the big week. So
you got to almost play both because one guy's going to get you. Like if you, let's say, for example, this week, Woods has 9.5 points and Cooper Kupp has 33. If you can take 42 points out of both your receivers, that's 21 apiece all day. But Andrews is good too. Another big contract for a tight end. I know you're not crazy about that, Sean Guy. Like I said, man, if I'm Tate, what am I doing with Dillon?
St. Brown.
I'm not really sure what I'm doing with St. Brown. I keep Waddle, I keep Ruggs, but I drop Watson. So it's like maybe it's because Triple C has to do three fantasy football leagues every year.
Yeah,
he's too obsessed with baseball and IPAs.
Yeah, fantasy baseball's still going on.
So I think he gets caught up in baseball and he just kind of takes it kind of like from a draft standpoint, or maybe he's always a kind of a guy to also bring confidence to his selections. So sometimes I doubt Tate's moves and they come through later and they surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a couple studs, I think. I mean, if Allen and Kamara both play up to their potential, I mean, he could easily turn it around.
Yeah, I'm optimistic with his starters. I really just think the only guy I clearly say, let's see you later, boys, see you later, much like Blackpink, is Deshaun Watson. So that's Tate's team in a nutshell. Everybody agrees there's a good amount of potential there. I like Gainwell's chilling there as well. He's a free agent in some other leagues, but anywho, over to the opposite side of the ball, another big point scorer this week, another girl was Cam A. Brady's just kind of playing out of his mind. And believe it or not, I was talking about this with my sister's boyfriend who claims he doesn't watch that much football. I was just thinking this morning while I went to the bathroom, weirdly enough, that Brady's stock has just got to fall at some point. It's kind of just blowing my mind. I don't know.
He's looking like MVP at 44.
When
is his age?
When does 9 touchdowns so far?
Like
we've been saying that for 10 years. Louis.
There's this meme of him like with like a white beard and white hair, like him going to the Pro Bowl like 12 years later or something like that. Like
everyone else is just college.
I just kind of am like maybe it's right now. Maybe the unexpected play of next week is Brady.
Come on, Louis.
What? I was just thinking outside the box.
Tom Brady. We've been saying this. People have been trying this every week for the past like 5-6 years.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, playing in.
Hey, Sean was on the anti-Brady wagon in the summer while we were chilling.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, I will say though, like being like a little bit older and like playing in Tampa Bay, like that is definitely going to help him out at least for another couple of years.
What, the weather?
Yes.
Oh, come on. You and your
he's just good, man.
Sean guy's thinking about locations and shit. Meanwhile, his team's putting up 60 and 90 points.
Brady,
I still like my team a lot. Like I don't know.
Hey,
he can go back to New England and still do this, man.
I think
I disagree with that.
I think what you're not going to see next week from Cam A's team is Brandon Cooks play like that all year. That's a great performance, but I think Noah Fart is now starting to be Noah fantasy football guy, and that's going to be one of your best tight end scoops of the year, where she got him in the draft. So pound for pound, fantasy football wise, that's a great pick. Obviously, Edwards-Helaire.
That was like one of the
very bad.
That was like one of the plays of the week, like leaving him on the bench.
I mean, it really was a great move, especially with that fumble. Especially
but she also has Hollywood Brown too, though. So it's like, man, she's got some options. It looks like on her bench.
And you guys were just talking about how Lamar can't throw.
Well, he can throw to him in the tight end. That's about it.
That's all he's got.
Right.
To be real. I mean, Deontay Johnson, dude, if you were speaking of Sean guy predictions, I mean, what a sick, nasty player that guy is, man, out of Toledo. He's questionable, but I mean, that's one of the best snags again of the draft. And there's a lot to like there with Keenan Allen and the Bears D, for the first 2 weeks they're playing well, as you touched on earlier, Sean. So Dalvin Cook also, I think
week one they didn't. Stafford roasted him week one.
Oh, I thought you said that they carried. Wait, I thought you said against Cincinnati.
Well, yeah, that was week 2, but week 1, the Bears D got roasted.
Never mind. My brain got all mixed up. I thought that they played Cincinnati
week 2.
Week 1.
They just played. They played at Rams week 1 is Sunday night.
I apologize. I apologize for the misinformation. Yeah. No, I really do. I've watched too many games and I mess up sometimes. So I didn't get to watch the the Bears this week. Going on, Miles Sanders. I think that was a great play for her to as well. Like you said, the bench of the week almost. We could have that as a thing, like the start of the week for our fantasy owners. And the bench of the week before the robot gets to it. But I think it's good because it conditions her next week to be like, Hilaire, he fumbled and he had a really bad game, and I'm just going to stick with Sanders again. But the one last thing I want to touch on is that point total for Cook is so much smaller than he looked. Like, if you watch
he gets all the targets, right?
If you watch the highlights, did you say you have 7 targets?
I'm saying he gets all their targets, right?
Dalvin Cook for
Minnesota. Cook. Yeah, they're running back.
Well, yeah, dude. Brandon Cooks. I don't know if that's going to keep happening, Johnny. But
he's all they got.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty sad, and that's all you got. Won't see you in the Super Bowl, Texans. Note from Louis Nissimov: you suck. That's my favorite thing to say because it just sums it all up in two freaking words. You suck, Houston. You know what? But I just really think Dalvin Cook played out of his mind. So for him to come up with 15 points, if he plays like that again, you can expect that man to be in the end zone, something like that. Cam A should be pretty confident going forward. Also, she might be able to make some waiver moves. But I don't think you drop Edwards-Hilaire, but yeah, good habit to form to maybe bench him, which is not so easy to do. What games did we not cover at this point? So we've covered Scam A, we've covered your guys' teams.
We didn't cover the Michigan State game, that's for sure.
We did not cover my game. And did we did cover your game, Sean? Did we?
Yeah.
So the only game we didn't cover was mine.
What about Shtiek and the Lonely Kickers?
Oh yeah, we didn't cover that. Well, I can already tell you because I'm pretty familiar with my mom's squad.
Auto draft.
Well, yeah, and then honestly, I really hesitate to cover robots' ideas. So over to what my mom did with her early draft picks, like draft pick 1 through 8 or 1 through 6. Kyler Murray, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper getting dinged up, she was still able to put up 153, and Cooper's such a stud to have.
That's crazy.
He's such a good player to have. I mean, last week she did the same thing. She had a 0 last week and still put up 160.
Yeah.
So Gronk is just kind of overperforming, but the way that Brady works, playing out of his mind with people trying to sell his stock super high. You never know what he's going to do next week, so he could do it all over again.
You never know.
I think she probably has my favorite team. I would say
Cortland Sutton, also an amazing pick, and even Jay Williams for Detroit, and Trey Sermon might come back. So
I'm still going Spartan Trooper. After 2 weeks, damn.
I think Aguilar is also still just underrated, but okay, no big deal. Team Shtiek, we are totally avoiding your team. Congratulations for not drafting. I honestly don't even care. I don't care. He's told me
doesn't draft or
I sent him messages on Instagram 3 times to add a logo, and every time he messages me back like right away. He hearts my message,
and then
still
he says 1-1 though. He's better than my team.
He said you're speaking of someone who doesn't exist. He didn't pick his team. So anyway,
I know, but he's still 1-1 though. I was there.
He's not 1-1. He's not 1-1. Sleeper's 1-1. You realize that's like playing against Madden and simulating your game. You're like, all right, like, let's see if I simulate my game, who wins.
Damn, his kicker got him 0 points. That's rough.
Yeah, that is rough. That is so funny though.
The Dolphins though, that was like the biggest, like one of the biggest disappointments week 2 though.
So back when we were playing CBS and non-decimal, speaking of a kicker scoring 0, I was playing against David Akers, and my game was tied before Monday Night Football. And
Oh,
the Eagles had Donovan McNabb, and me and Dave watched the game, and somehow the Eagles got shut out and never scored a point. And I tied. It was the most epic tie of my life. I watched the entire game.
Yeah, McNabb was sweet with like Brian Westbrook and LJ Smith.
So me versus Luke the Beast to round our league out and to get out of here for the night. Luke the Beast, dude, he really made it closer than it looked, even though I put up that many points. That was because D-Train, as I like to call him, had a ridiculous second half. Other than that, the fact that Russell threw 2 touchdowns to Lockett was a little bit of practicality mixed in with bad luck for him, because it could have gone to like Everett, who I kept putting in and out of my lineup. It could have gone to the other tight end, Will Dissly. It could have gone to that new guy on Seattle. What's his name?
Everett.
No, not Everett. The receiver starts with S. Number
Eskridge.
18. Number 8.
Eskridge.
No.
Freddie Swain.
Thank you. Yeah, that's who it is. He's starting to play. He's starting to play well out in Seattle.
Wide out?
Swain.
Oh, Fred Swain, yeah.
Dude, when he scored that big touchdown, like it looks so much like Lockett. He looks a lot like him.
He does. Thank you for pointing that out, because I think it's something to watch for you going forward, because if Russell finds you in wide open space, I mean, that's just a huge on your flex spot or something like that. Once we start getting to bye weeks and injuries, it's something to be looking out for on waivers. But yeah, a rough week as far as practicality versus reality at Luke the Beast, and you had to basically lost by like almost a decimal or like a point or so. I don't know how to do math anymore. Apparently you lost by 2 points, but
I just checked the standings. He has 2 more points than me on the season. He's 0-2. I'm 2-0.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I mean, you had the woes last year.
Yeah, for sure.
James Conner, that's probably the only thing that you're going to do differently going forward is try to monitor that versus P. Lindsay. And it's going to be a mind bleep for you, whether you're going to try to play with those receivers, or how are you going to squeeze in Rondell Moore when you already have Deebo Samuel and you have Tyreek Hill and McLaurin. So you're kind of just loaded with receiver, which is a good thing going forward this year.
We should have been 3 receivers and a flex, because we all
I am going to put that up for vote, and we will see what everybody thinks, and then next year we will make that adjustment.
And then we could add that bench spot too.
Yeah, I am more than down. Yeah, if we do that, we are adding a bench spot. I don't care.
Well, I guess it would be the same bench. It would just be an extra player on the team, right?
No. If that's going to be 2 extra players. But the thing is, if I got to have 7 bench spots, I can't. There's no way we're going to do 3 wide receivers and not having 7 bench spots, because standard is to have 7 bench spots. I'll put it up for vote. But if it gets voted down to go to 3 wide receiver and a flex, then so be it. So we'll see what everybody thinks.
It's funny. We all have receivers on our bench we could be playing. So it makes it hard. And that's the interesting call every week. Which receivers are we all going to play?
Yeah, I mean, I was even like, I was not going to bench Lockett. Like, I was stupid enough to do week 1. I still can't believe I put Shane Ald in. I was just like rolling the dice. I really didn't.
Did you play over him?
I played Shane Ald. He scored like 10 points, dude. It's so stupid of me. I thought he would find the end zone. And honestly, you know who did find the end zone? It was Chark, and it was Marvin Jones.
Chark didn't score.
I thought he scored last week 1.
Hey, wait, did we touch on Marvin Jones?
Week 1, Chark didn't score a touchdown?
Oh, I got to look at. I thought you were talking about week 2.
No, I was talking about week 1.
Maybe.
But real quick, Marvin Jones, who had them? Because he's been kind of.
Chark scored a touchdown week 1. He had 12 targets, 84% of snaps.
I was gonna say I would have dropped.
So that's why I started him this week.
So I just wanted to say though, the odds
he got one pass.
The odds that Chark was going to score and Jones for me were low, because Jones was coming over from the Lions, and I just thought, okay, Shane Ald has a real.
Lions can really use Jones this year.
Shane Ald was getting a lot of hype from Fantasy Podcast, and he was getting hype from like the Jacksonville team as far as how he looked in practice. So I was like,
especially with ETN going down, I thought he would get more involved.
Yeah, and that was the other hype thing going on just fantasy websites. People are like, well, ETN's down, so now it opens up this. You know, people get paid to do that. People get paid to think like that, and I really want to say, if anybody does listen into this, always take podcasts, YouTube, people on Instagram with a grain of salt, and go with what you think.
Remember, it's only been 2 weeks.
Just go with what you think at the end of the day. Yeah. Like even though we are analyzing football and giving you our ideas too, in our own way, I think you just got to just do what you want, and you'll feel better.
I don't know if Chenault got hurt, but I'm still pretty high on him.
Chenault, somebody, I think didn't you scoop him up?
Oh, it might have been me. Yeah.
Ben scooped him up, and then he dropped him, and then you scooped him up.
Next week, there's only one matchup between two teams that haven't lost yet.
Who am I playing?
Well, I mean, I didn't really talk much about my team, but I got some contemplation whether I want to play Kenyon Drake over Kareem Hunt if he keeps Kareem Hunt if Jacobs is still out. Because I like the matchup Oakland has next week for him to get some more catches.
And he had an amount of carries. I still think he might have had more carries than Barber, right?
Also, another dilemma I have now is I have San Fran's D, and I have a couple of tough matchups for each team. I'm not sure. San Fran's playing Green Bay, and then New England's going against New Orleans. And I don't think with the rookie QB that New England's going to perform I'm probably going to go with New England. But anyway, those are where I'm at with my team. Also, another thing with my team is, when is Claypool going to make me feel like a fool for benching him? Because Big Ben's playing like absolute trash week 1 and 2, but it's possible that Claypool goes for a 2-touchdown game and he's just chilling on my bench. That's just how I feel about my team. And then Luke, I think you have the best receiving core in the league right now. And Tampa's D is definitely good going forward, even Blankenship. Eckler looks great. Russell Wilson, same thing. That just rounds out our league. But yeah, let's get in back to what you guys were quickly referring to, which was Chenault on your team, Johnny.
What was I saying?
What are you going to keep him?
Oh yeah, I think he might have gotten banged up. So I'll look into that, but I think he's really talented.
I don't think he did, man.
Okay, but I'm pretty.
No, yeah, he did. I lied.
Okay, but I'm still high on his talent, and I figured Urban would use him really interestingly, and he hasn't so far. So a little bit disappointing, but it could turn around. It's only been 2 weeks.
He was my disappointment of the week. 7 targets.
I don't think you should have drafted him.
7 targets, 2 catches, -3 yards.
Yep.
So that was one of my disappointments of the week, along with Yo Kiro Taco Bell.
Yep. All right, guys.
Sean, guys. Yeah.
Later, Sean. Love you, buddy.
Have a good night.
Yo.
What up? All right. So, is there anything else football that you would like to talk about with this guy?
I don't know. You got any ideas?
Or would you like to preach from your football career? And I mean, actually, not even in your high school days, but more like your job that you're doing. You got any insights for the guys in the league that you would have versus just regular Joe Schmo?
I don't know. I was pretty much focused on
what game did you cover?
I had the Raiders offense, which was fun because they were my old pick.
So you were looking in deep and you saw something.
Yeah, and then I had Falcons offense for the second game.
What a rough game at the end there.
Bucks D, man, they're so good. Vita Vea is so good. Shaquille Barrett too.
What's the guy's name on the Bucks D?
Vita Vea, the big Hawaiian nose tackle.
Sounds like a type of cheese.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, he really is.
He's getting into that upper tier of right underneath Donald and Chris Jones. Cam Hayward, those guys.
So what is the problem in Atlanta? Like, why does it look like in the pregame they're like, all right, Matt Ryan's gonna bounce back. This is what I feel anyway. He's got Ridley. He's got a decent chance. You know what I mean? They got Pitts.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Why does it keep going so haywire? Is it the O-line or is it the?
Yeah, I mean, I hate blaming everything on the O-line because I feel like you can do that with pretty much every team.
Right. It's a little bit of both. You got to make some decisions when the pressure's on.
But it is really bad, and he almost all of his throws were under 2 seconds. Like, he's getting rid of the ball super quick. Sometimes
but that's why.
But it's also because of the scheme. That's a lot of the routes they're running are really quick dink and dunk kind of stuff. But once they got down by a couple of touchdowns, they started going hurry up, attacking the ball downfield a little bit. So Ryan still got it. It's just there was a good defense in place too.
Week 2, there was really a lot more. Yeah, I just to kind of agree with what you're saying there. The week 2 is definitely a lot more up and down, and realistically, they got the ball game to 3 points.
Yeah, it got close there.
I mean, after that play, you know, I still think the money was on the Bucks, but I don't think anybody saw it going that way. You know, those 2 pick sixes by the same exact guy. I mean, what are the odds of that?
Right. Yeah. The first one was a really bad decision by Ryan. That was like his only really bad decision of the game. And then the second one was a tip ball.
Oh my God, dude, that all happened in the same car ride when I decided, okay, I got to go to work because it's a little bit lenient on Sunday for me. Like, I have this football package and I'm literally like have like 6 games up or like 4 games at a time. And I'm like, all right, I got to go. And it's like I'm winning and I'm like, I have a good amount of points. I'm like, all right, I like this. All of a sudden, Luke the Bee starts catching up. And I'm like, wait, was it Russell? Did Russell throw to somebody besides Lockett or what's going on? I scroll all the way down to his defense. It's like Tampa Bay TD. I'm like, Tampa Bay TD, what the hell is that? And then like he comes with more points and I scroll down. I'm like, 2 TDs. Like, what the hell? 2 picks, 2 TDs. I'm like, God, what are the odds of 2 late
same player
defensive?
too. Do you know that?
Yeah, I just said that a second ago. You'll have to rewind the tape. Nobody listens to the CRUDcast, and that's why it's been dubbed the Cruddy.
I listened to the part where you guys would talk about my team.
I like it. Yeah,